Arcadia Economics Sunday night, March 6, 2022. As I'm sure you're already well aware, there's plenty happening in the world. Things did not de escalate over the weekend between Ukraine, Russia, U.S. sanctions, shutting systems down. Latest I'm hearing is that apparently Russia is even going to be turning off their internet, going to RUNet. Forgive me if I'm not getting the exact phrasing and details of that correct, but in either case, certainly a lot of the conditions which have led people to be interested in silver and precious metals, unfortunate, many of the things that are going on. Although to the degree we're looking at the reaction in the markets, certainly the commodities reacting strongly. Silver is now over $26 again. It wasn't too long ago that seemed pretty far-fetched. And there you can see gold. What do we got? 1993, 1994. $6 away from the $2,000 mark, which certainly sets up an interesting overnight session. I wonder if I'll be able to fall asleep for a little while somewhere around there, because I'll be darn curious how this plays out. And as you may have noticed in the headline, I mentioned, is this going to be Ross Benham and the plunge protection team and CCP essentially on one side of the $2,000 mark against basically the world's demand for gold on the other? Let me explain what I mean there. Many of you who've been watching the channel for a while remember that Ross Benham, the head of the CFTC, one of the members of the plunge protection team, along with Janet Yellen, some Fed chair, not sure how many Fed members it is, but also Gary Gensler. So this is a notorious crew, and these are the guys that just intervened in the market, or the current assemblage thereof. And if they were scared that things were really going off the tracks back during Silver Squeeze weekend, which was when Ross Benham got caught confirming that they tamped down the silver price. This guy's supposed to be the regulator, so he confirmed they tamped down the silver price because they were shitting their pants. Things were getting really out of control. And, piece it together later, he wasn't just some dude. He was one of the guys on the plunge protection team. And I think I don't think anything they're doing is rightfully so. It's one crime to cover up the last, but I can understand why they were scared, because yes, if silver had gotten much higher, maybe that would have been a bigger problem for the banking cartel. It's like one of those things, once you really tip it past the edge, then it unravels more overtly, and we've been seeing this in slow motion for a long time. But if that was the feeling around $30 silver, I just have to wonder, is that similar to what's going on at $2,000 gold? You would have to think Ross isn't sleeping right now. He's probably on the phone talking to someone. Which is the Fed meeting right now? Would they even tell us if they were? Probably not. But in terms of anything we've ever seen or heard of in terms of intervention, at least in my mind, it's on the table as a possibility tonight, and with more reasons than ever for people to be quickly understanding the merits of owning gold. Certainly, there would seem like there's enough out there to push the price above 2,000. I would suggest the biggest factor keeping it below will be plunge protection team and the banks that are short the gold contracts. Where does that leave us? Well, I can see gold being, by the time we wake up tomorrow, and maybe not that all of these are equally likely, but if you told me gold was anywhere between $1,950 and $2,200, I wouldn't say either of those are impossible, which is not to mean that we'll see either of those extremes. Those would probably be some extreme tails on that distribution, but 1995, and you know how much Wall Street, 1995, 30, you know how in Wall Street a lot of stop orders placed around 2000, and there's other people who can better explain the technicals of that, but is it possible that it blows through resistance level and spikes quite a bit higher? Certainly more possible than ever. So we shall see how that goes. Market has been open for 2.5 hours. Also, as you may have noticed, oil is up quite a bit. Has come back in a little bit. It was up, I think, 12 or 13, almost $15. Now up $8 or so. But a lot of sanctions, cutting off Russian oil. Anthony Blinken wants to cut off anything with Russian in the name. Basically, everybody's cutting off Russia except for J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs, which then when you think about the government ties they have, that really they probably were tipped off before a lot of these things happened, yet I mean, last week we were told British Petroleum was walking away from $25 billion, yet J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs, the true Nazi traders that they are, they're in there as long as it's good for their bottom line, Jamie's pockets, their trading desk. They will go in there, steal, pillage, and plunder whatever they see as possible. So, might add, I had some things in my JM Bullion shopping cart. I'm going to check those out tonight. That's not a huge order. It'll be like $3,000-$4,000 or so. Although I did buy a 1,000-ounce silver block last week. So there's that. And here's the fun part. A little quick story before we wrap up. This is, I think it's a good story though. Because basically I've had my financial ups and downs over the last 10 years, and one of the things that was tough was like, man, I hope thing doesn't move when I don't have much silver or have my option bet on silver, which again, not legal financial advice, and hopefully I'll do all right on that one. But in terms of the amount that I was thinking, man, I hope one way or another I could at least just get, a few bucks in there. And I was feeling really proud of myself Friday night. I was going to sleep thinking about, I've had my ups and downs, especially financially and just life and adventure wise, yet, wow, I had a bigger one on than I ever could have dreamed of. And certainly, while, not ideal world circumstances, to see silver already crossing through $26, and now we have 1996 gold. So hopefully this one will work out. I'm only saying that playfully. Gotten pummeled many a time, and hopefully we'll get a few of those bucks back. Yet now the takeaway though is that because it's an option bet, geez, if what if we ever did have like gold spike through? Let's say gold goes up to $20, 2,050 or 2,100. In that case, where is silver? Like 27, 28, 29, 30? So there's a chance I could be clearing out a lot more silver from retail dealers tomorrow to do my part, take it off the shelves. You don't want to get it in Rosty's hands. The guy could waste it or throw it in the ocean or something. Even his buddy Ben Bernanke didn't understand gold. So these guys are complete idiots and morons in addition to being corrupt. Got to factor all that in. You don't have to, but that's how we do it here in Arcadia in option trading land. So while you could hit the subscription button and the notification bell, just you'll find me again. We'll be covering silver in the morning. Don't check the Kitco chart all night. Get some sleep, but stay safe out there. But at least for the gold and silver fans, some positive news in that development, and hopefully I will be taking more silver off the shelves tomorrow, at least whatever is left by the morning. So we'll see. Have a good night, folks.